Welcome to Kev's Travel Stories. Each week I'll be bringing you a story from the weird and wonderful world of travel, a world that can change the way you see life and love and even the way we find meaning. Places that are iconic and sometimes surprising and even terrifying. So sit back and enjoy while we go on a magical mystery tour together. Welcome to Kevin's Travel Stories, and this week we are going to look at what drink you should not order when you're on a plane. Imagine sitting down as your long-haul flight or your short-haul flight, it applies to both, gets underway. You settle back, you kick off your shoes, you pull out your book and you go, right, well, before I get started, let's order a drink. Now, the research and the studies show there is one drink you should definitely not order. Just take a moment to pause and rack your brain and see if you can come up with the answer. What drink should not be passing your lips as you get well into your flight and enjoy the full wonder of the adventure that's unfolding as you skip 30,000 feet across nations and continents and oceans? Any ideas? Well, I'll put you out of your misery if you could not come up with the answer, and the answer is very humble: tea and coffee. Why, may you ask, should you not order tea or coffee? Well, studies have shown that the water that is carried by planes sits in tanks, and these tanks can become the breeding grounds for E. coli and other bugs that could cause you great discomfort and quite serious illness. When they've taken samples from the various airlines, they've found that some fell short and that the bugs, E. coli and other nefarious, awful viruses were present in the water and they could cause you illness. Not only that, even washing your hands in the water from the tap on a plane could transfer the bug to your system. What is the remedy? Well, the remedy is this: only drink bottled water. The problem with drinking tea and coffee is that the water is not boiling. That's a whole set of health and safety issues in the cockpit of a plane where they're serving the food. They have to use water that's in a thermos. It means the temperature has dropped below boiling and the bugs can, theoretically, survive. So that's the real takeaway from this piece, is to avoid, if you've anyway got a weak constitution or a compromised immune system or are just prone to tummy bugs, avoid the tea or coffee and only drink bottled water. Some very other interesting facts about when you fly at altitude is that it changes your perception of taste and smell. That could well be the reason why people complain constantly that airplane food is quite bland. In fact, the chefs behind the menus for many airplanes and many airlines' food consumption protocols add more salt, MSG and sugar to give the food an uptake, because they know that your ability to identify certain flavors, particularly sharp flavors, don't work as well when you're up in the air. And that's why one drink that would be particularly useful to enjoy instead of your tea or coffee would be ginger ale. Ginger has a profile that is actually very interesting. It increases at altitude, so you're going to get a real sharp, clear taste. The same applies to tomato juice as well. My own favorite drink when I get on a flight and settle back and look out of the window, and if I'm lucky enough to be in business class, it's handed to me even before the plane has taken off, is a glass of the purest drink. Now, I'm going to continue to drink that, and that is a drink that's made of only the finest grapes through a process that's double distilled, so it's really pure, and that's a glass of your bubbly champagne. Not only does it reduce blood pressure and cortisol, it gives you that lovely uptake and little buzz as the plane takes off to take you on your adventure. So that's our parting gift to you this week. Avoid the tea and coffee. Only drink bottled water, but you can have a little bubbly or a G&T or something else to take the edge off things. If you enjoyed this mini podcast, please share it with a friend and do follow us on Instagram. We've noticed that though we have thousands of listeners, only 8% have actually logged on and followed us on Instagram. Doesn't cost anything, only takes a minute, and it would really, really help us spread our top travel destination message, which is find meaning and find joy in travel. Thank you for listening.